Hello there. In this video, we are going to learn about data structures. So let's first understand what a data structure is. A data structure is a structure which is designed to store and access data efficiently. To store and access data efficiently. From the definition, it is very clear that data structures has two components. First one being the data itself. And the second one being the structure, which is going to store the data. Now let's look at the data. What is data? Data, it can be defined as anything from which useful information can be extracted. Data can be defined as anything from which useful information can be extracted. From which useful information can be extracted. So data can be text, it can be speech, it can be videos, sound waves can act as data, electrical signals can act as data. We have a vast variety of data. We can logically divide data into three categories. The human level data, the programming level data, and at last the machine level data. The human level data is going to consist of the data which can be easily understood and comprehended by a normal human being. It will be composed of images, text in natural language, videos, audios, and these things. The programming level data is the data which is defined by the programming language that you are using. So it will generally consist of integer values, boolean, characters, and so on. The machine level data is the simplest form of data, yet it becomes very difficult to comprehend. It is going to consist only of zeros and ones. Because we all know that the computers only understand the binary language. Now why do the computers only understand the binary language? Because ultimately all the devices that are providing us with computational power are actually composed of electronic components. And the only thing that these electronic components understand is whether current is flowing or not, voltage is present or not, and charge is stored or not. So if current is flowing, voltage is high, we call it as a 1. And if current is not flowing, charge is not stored, or voltage is not present, we call it as a 0. Now what we can do is, and what we do is, we break this human level data into programming level data, which will be further broken down into the machine level data. Why? So that the machines can operate on the data. Machines can understand, comprehend, and operate on the data. This is why we have to translate all the human level data into the machine level. Now what we can again do is we can build up programming level data using machine level data. And with programming level data, we can build human level data. These translations are always taking place. Whether you are watching a video on YouTube, whether you are uploading a picture on Instagram, or you are commenting on a video, these translations are always taking place. In this playlist, we are only going to be concerned about programming level data. Now let's discuss something about the structures. What is a structure? A structure, it can be defined as a logical and physical organization of data in our case. A logical and physical organization of data is known as a data structure. This is a structure. We have designed a lot of structures to hold data. We have arrays, we have linked list, we have trees, graphs, queues, stacks, and so on. Let's discuss about an array. What is an array? An array is like a bookshelf. You can place elements in an array the same way you place elements in a bookshelf. This is what an array looks like. What type of data can we hold in an array? We can hold any type of elements with this data type in an array. There are two things that we need to understand about an array. First one being that an array is allocated contiguous memory. An array is allocated contiguous space in memory, which means that if I index this to be 0, then this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the indexes, they will go from 0 to n minus 1 if the size of the array is n. Now we can hold any of the data types in the array. So I can hold 2, 5, 1, 0, 2, 8. This is how I can hold elements in an array. The second thing that we need to know about an array is that you can access any element in the array if you know the index. If you know the index, then you can access any element in the array in constant time. In constant time. This is an array. Now what we can do within an array is that we can be creative and we can stack one array upon another, and what we will create is a two-dimensional array. This is how a two-dimensional array looks like. It is going to have rows and it is going to have columns which we can index. Now I have to show you something. How are we going to translate human level data into programming level data? Let's take the example of an image. What is an image? An image is actually a grid of pixels. An image is a grid of pixels. And each pixel is going to hold a color value. This is how an image is formed. So for example, when you are watching this YouTube video, you can select the video quality. You can select it to be 480p, you can select it to be 720p, and you can select it to be 1080p. What is p? Pixels. So if you select the quality to be 180p, 1080p, what you are actually selecting is 1080 number of rows and 1920 columns. You are selecting a grid with 1080 rows and 1920 columns, which means around 2 million pixels. 2 million pixels. Where each pixel is going to hold a color value. Where each pixel is going to hold a color value. So for example, if we consider a grayscale image, then each pixel can contain a value from 0 to 255, where 0 will represent the black color and 255 is going to represent the white color. All the numbers in between are going to be shades of gray. Now we have a two-dimensional array. What we can do is we can make a two-dimensional array of this dimension, and each pixel and each block is going to hold an integer value which will represent the image, which will represent the color. So what we will do is we will create a two-dimensional array in the programming level, which is actually going to be an image in the human level, at the human level. It is going to correspond to an image. This is how an image at the human level is translated to a two-dimensional array in the programming level. We can again add these images we can add multiple images and create a video. This is how we get a video. So this is how the translations are taking place. And of course, this 2D array is going to be converted into the machine level so that the machines can operate on the data. This is how we translate human level data into programming level data, which will be further translated into the machine level data. And again, we are going to get the programming level data from the machine level data, and we will get the human level data with the programming level data. That is all for this video. We will learn more about data structures in the upcoming videos. Goodbye for now.